If you find it difficult to make or keep New Year's resolutions, then this video is for you. In January, we're under so much pressure to become the next shiniest version of ourselves. And so many people start new healthy eating routines or fitness regimes, and they start with good intentions. But then after a few days or a few weeks, those good intentions fall by the wayside. Now, is this just because people are lazy or they lack discipline? Honestly, I don't think so. I think it's rooted in something deeper. And so in this video, I'm going to be exploring some of the very real spiritual and practical reasons why you may be struggling with New Year's resolutions. Plus, I'll offer some suggestions for ways to spend your January instead so that you can feel both productive and spiritually aligned. If that sounds good, then tap that like button and keep watching. Hiya lovely! In this video, I'm going to be exploring 5 different things to consider when making New Year's resolutions or setting goals for the new year. Now, just a side note here, there is absolutely nothing inherently wrong with wanting to improve your life. And if we've not met before, I'm Shirley from Sacred Huntress, helping you to create the life you deserve through healing, self-care and spiritual purpose. Now, the purpose of this video isn't to discourage you from setting goals and for wanting to improve your life. The purpose of this video is to help you to set yourself up to win. Now, the first thing to consider is exactly where January sits in the wheel of the year. If we take a look at the wheel of the year, then you'll notice that January sits between the winter solstice and Imbolc. It's a time when nature is in the midst of its winter sleep. We ourselves are part of nature, so to force ourselves into activity in January whilst nature is at rest forces us to act against our own instincts. And in the time between the winter solstice and Imbolc, when the first signs of new life start to appear, it's a time of rest. It's a time of reflection and recuperation. So the first thing to consider is where January sits in the wheel of the year. And the second thing to consider is evaluation. Now, in the Northern Hemisphere, the winter solstice and Christmas is a time where we're really, really busy and we're spending lots of energy and lots of time shopping and wrapping presents and, preparing food and gathering it together with loved ones. And there's lots and lots of things to do. So to rush the planning and the dreaming process in the few days between Christmas and New Year is quite frankly enough to give you whiplash. It's just not enough time. We need to take time to take stock and get clear of exactly where we are in every single area of our lives. We need to reflect on our family life, on our work life. We need to reflect on where we are in relation to money. We need to reflect on where we are in relation to our health and our personal development and our spiritual practices. And the list goes on. And so only when we're clear about where we are today can we really begin to set meaningful goals about where we might like to go in the future. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments below. Now, once we're clear about where we are, the next thing to consider is setting authentic goals. Now, have you ever had the experience where you achieve a goal that you've set for yourself, like buying a particular house or getting a job that you've wanted for ages, or buying a particular car, or achieving something like climbing a particular mountain, and then once you actually reach that goal, it leaves you feeling flat? Or it leaves you feeling differently than you thought it would actually make you feel. Now, that's a great indicator that the goal you've set for yourself isn't an authentic goal. And this happened to me. It happened to me on my first degree that I studied for. I remember I'd worked for years and years trying to get the highest grade possible. And then on results day, I actually went down and looked on the wall for my name, which is how you actually found out what classification of degree you got. And I got a first. And I remember my friend jumping up and down, all excited next to me. And she was, squealing and shouting, "You did it, you did it." And I could see that she was really happy. But I just remember feeling so flat. And what I learnt from that is that when we feel flat when we achieve a particular goal, it means that that goal doesn't resonate with our true path or true purpose. So many of us set goals because we think they'll make us happy, because lots of things on the outside of us, like the media or our friends or our family, have actually told us that this is what we should want, but it doesn't originate from within ourselves. So this setting authentic goals is about taking the time to go within and to really connect on a soul level with what it is that we really want. And that leads us on to the next thing to consider. The next thing to consider is spiritually aligned goals. Now, setting authentic goals in terms of going within and connecting with our inner wisdom is important, but it's also really helpful to consult our spiritual guides and our spiritual guidance. So this can take many forms depending on what kind of path you walk in. Some of you may really like to do a tarot spread for the year, for example. A 12-month spread can be really helpful. Some of you may want to connect with guardian angels. And if you're walking a shamanic path, you might want to journey to your power animals, to your guides, to your ancestors, or to ascended masters to consult them on the direction in which you feel drawn to go in your life, and to see whether the goals that you're setting are truly spiritually aligned. The next thing to consider is practical goal setting. Now, January is the perfect time to set goals for the next 12 months, for the next calendar year. But New Year's resolutions are often quite vague. People usually resolve to earn more money, for example, or to lose some weight. But they're actually really bad quality goals. Now, in terms of practical goal setting and setting ourselves up to win, we need to dive a lot deeper and to consider things like, why do we want to achieve this goal? How do we want to feel when we achieve this goal? What practical actions do you need to take to achieve this goal? What resources might you need? What skills might you need to cultivate? What help might you need? Or what habits might you need to create? And the list goes on and on. Now, good quality goal setting takes time. And that's another thing to consider when planning out how to spend the next year of your life. So, sweet soul, if you're feeling resistance to launching yourself headfirst into New Year's resolutions just because it's January, then that's probably because your inner wisdom knows you need to include your heart and your soul. Now, if that resonates with you, consider subscribing so that we can spend some more time together. But ultimately, trust that your path will unfold in divine time. And hopefully one of these videos will help to support you in your journey. Take good care, wishing you a fantastic year, and I'll see you in the next video.